Hello everybody, it's welcome again to the 1860 Club, and it's indeed a big honour today to have with us three mates of 65 years, Graeme Mitchell, Garry Moore and Bobby Morgan, who've went to primary school together as at 5 years of age, which puts it around about, what, 1955 or something like that, boys?
Oh, 56 probably.
Yeah.
56, yeah. You remember it well?
I think it's fair to say, Lee, we're all approaching 70, so a lot of the stuff today is going to be a bit misty, if you like.
So you went to primary school together as lads, so clearly you lived in the neighbourhood together, so obviously a highlight would have been playing a bit of cricket together as young kids out in the street, down the park.
Yeah, look, a lot of it was played in Garry's driveway.
Mm-hmm.
He had a big set of gates which blocked off the driveway from the street, and we had a good run up from his shed. It was on concrete. It was in between the house and the fence, so we had a really good cricket pitch. We spent plenty of hours there playing cricket.
Did Mitchie bowl round arm there?
I don't think you played a lot there, Scratch, did you?
Oh, yeah, in Gary's backyard.
Okay. Yeah, he always bowled round arm. I'm not defaming anyone here, but just Scratchy, when he played at the state school, we played on concrete wickets, and his arm was that round that he used to bowl it off the pitch all the time until he finally got it round, and once he got onto the pitch, he was fine. He was very quick at a young age.
That photo that you put up of the 1962 side was just unbelievable. Haircuts look great.
I mentioned there was Bobby Davey, John Douglas, myself and Scratch, and there was one other I can't remember, but we all played, apart from Bobby Davies, we all played in the first at Preston. Mm-hmm. And 2 years before that, the guys from Preston East State School were Knackers, my brother, Dennis Davey, and Stan Walker. Yeah, so that and they all played in the first. So it was 8 guys from that school within the space of 3 years, eventually played in the first at Preston.
Now, you parted company, you went to different secondary schools. Mitch, which one did you go to?
Garry and me were Preston East Tech, and
yep.
Bobby went to Preston Tech in St George's Road there.
Yeah. So you remained mates, and when you were about to leave school, that's when you joined the cricket club. How did you actually get to the cricket club?
Myself and Scratch, we played with myself and Bob played with St David's behind the Preston Bars there.
Yep.
We played there as junior cricketers with Gary Kosier in our side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he played.
Famous test player?
Yeah, he played a year with us. When we left there, I said to Scratch, we'll go down to Northcote. Scratch, I don't think remembers this, but we went down to Northcote one night, jumped on the tram, the 8-hour tram, straight down the guts, down to Northcote. We trained one night there. And I had a bit of a run-in with Bill Laurie. I didn't know anything about turf wickets. The ball went out from the net and I chased it, jumped the rope and slid across the Saturday wicket, right up the centre. Bill Laurie come running over, give me the biggest payout of all time. So I got the bag and I said to Scratch, we're going. He said, where? I said, we're going home. So we jumped on the tram and he said, well, what are we going to do now? And I said, I don't know. We'll go to Preston. So I went down to Preston on Thursday night, and that's when we started.
Unbelievable.
And I think that the game was on the Saturday. I think Scratch got a game, and I didn't get a game in the fifths. Yeah, and I think the following game, Scratch went to the thirds.
Yeah, and Bobby, how did you get there?
Yeah, I played with St David's as well, and there was a lot of St David's players going to Preston at stage. My brother was 4 years older than me, and he played in the under-16s at St David's with a guy named Robin Wallace, and his father, Alan Wallace, was involved at Preston. So they went down to Preston. At that time, Stan Walker went down to Preston, Phil Sterling, Tony Garnett, 2 guys named Steve and Barry Cole. They were all a little bit older than me. I played a year of under-16s at St David's in the morning, and in the afternoon I played in the seniors at St David's.
Okay.
So I went down a year after Scratch and Garry. I was about 15 or 16, I think.
And Mitch, by the time you got to Preston, you had the nickname Scratch. Can you tell us how that sort of came about?
Yeah, it happened at secondary school, second form. A guy by the name of Ray Sinclair, and Garry still sees him reasonably often. It started off Mitchell, Mitch, Itchy, Scratch. And the variables from that, Mitch, I get Mitch from a lot of people. Scratchy, whatever. One stage there, Mum was the only one that called me Graham. So
You've got to Preston in around about 66, 67. Bobby is a batter, opening bat, high order batsman. Mitch is tearaway young fast bowler, and Maury is medium pace. Who could bat?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lee.
And I'd say medium pace is pushing it a bit. he wasn't a fast off spinner; he's a slow off spinner. But he used to bowl slow medium, I would say.
Okay.
That's with the win.
So you came into Preston and you played in the lower 11s, or you're working your way up. At the time you joined the club, was Potter the coach?
No.
So Potter came after you joined, and Bob, you knew him?
I knew him as a teacher-student relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he came with a great reputation. He was captain of Victoria the year before, and they'd won the Shield. I think he was 12th man for Australia 3 times, and he toured a few times. Very, very stiff not to play for Australia. He's a great player.
So you came in, consolidated, and became vice captain at 19?
I think I was about 19. I played when I was about 17. I'd made a few runs in the seconds. I come up through the fourths, the thirds, and the seconds. I played with Jack the 4 years. Yeah.
Yeah. And as vice captain, you clearly made him look better than what he actually was.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Look, I was vice captain for 2 years, I think, and I don't think he ever asked me anything, or I never offered anything. He was just, a lot better than us guys. He was up there, we were sort of down here, and he knew that, but he was a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he did much coaching, but he's just the way on the field, he imparted a lot of wisdom. He was really good.
Well, the three of you went on to incredible records. Mitchie finished up working his way into the first, did an apprenticeship for probably, 4 or 5 years, Mitch, before you got a game in the ones. But after that, you won the bowling average 4 times at an average of all under 16, which was quite remarkable.
my second year, I played in the first as a 16-year-old. That was intimidating. Well, I remember my first game at 16, you haven't got a licence, and I was just told to be at the ground at 10 o'clock. I'd get picked up, and the guys that picked me up were Des Healy and Donny Osborne. And the first stop was the Junction Hotel. And I thought, what the bloody hell's... First of all, 10 o'clock in the morning for a 1 o'clock start. Hey, what's happening here? Mm-hmm. And so anyway, they like to have a couple of beers, probably more than a couple, before they played. And me as a 16-year-old, I can't remember whether I stood outside or went in with them or whatever, but that was a quick upbringing, Yeah, that was my first experience with the first. I played 3 games with Jack, and that was it. I was banished, and but we did win that seconds premiership. That was in 66, 67. That was something special because I'd only been in the club for a couple of years.
You went on to play 2 other premierships with the fourth and the seconds, was it?
No, the third. I went backwards. I played that seconds premiership 66, 67. Then 68, 9 was the thirds, and then the fourths. And I played in the fourths. The boss asked me when I was in the printing trade, and he wanted me to work afternoon shift, which was 4 till midnight, and I couldn't train. And I was just going to give it away for the year, which would have really hurt because I love my cricket. And Steve Hillam asked me if I was interested in playing with the force without training. And I jumped at it. I said, "Oh, Steve, that'd be that'd be great." And as it turns out, we won the flag. So that was a bonus again. Like, I've been pretty lucky with premierships. You know, I've played with a lot of good players in the different grades, but I've been pretty lucky.
And Garry, you had a real breakout year in the first in 70-71. You won the bowling average, 30 wickets at a very respectable 15 or 16, I think.
I played the first game against Yarraville. I opened bowl with Brian Pert.
Yarraville was pretty famous. Probably not that year, but 2 or 3 years later?
No, that was 71, George Pushlenko.
Yeah. Last wicket partnership of 140 odd or thereabouts.
83 we put on.
83 was it? Okay, I told you.
George made 140 not out.
You made a pretty significant contribution, displayed all of the craft.
I did too. Speed cutting, on drives, off drives, lofted drives, the whole lot in five runs. Fantastic.
And you enjoyed facing, was it Rexy Close?
Yeah, they had good bowls. They had John Harmer, Close, and a bloke called Bean, who bowled Potter for first ball that day. Clean bowled him.
He was pretty quick, wasn't he?
Yeah, Bean went on to play district cricket.
Yeah.
He was only young.
I think he played for Victoria as well, a few games.
Yeah. That's how good he was,
Yeah. And there was it was a bit of a green top wicket.
Oh, certainly was. Best bowling I've ever faced, Lee. By a mile.
Yeah. Did we actually win that game?
Yeah.
Of course we did.
We did, yeah.
We got over the line. I just kept the figures of that. It was that day there was 5 ducks. We were 8 for 63. Donny Hudson come in and we were 9 for 104. And we end up making 9 for 187. George has put on something like, mate, the last 130, about 124 or something. Pulls and hooks, and pound for pound, be one of the best innings you'd ever see.
Bobby, did you play that game?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I was out third ball to Rex Close. There's a story behind that. It's on the Facebook. But Dennis Davey, his wife, had presented him with a son on the Thursday. Mm-hmm. And we're all pretty close mates. And probably a few of us celebrated pretty hard on that Friday night, very hard. We're a little bit hungover on the Saturday. It was a pretty warm day, and Rex Close was bowling bloody quick, and Boom was bowling quick. But I went out third ball, caught in third slip, so that was a good start for everyone. Potter got bowled first ball, and we all just fell over. Dennis Davey come in, and he said on the Facebook page, that's the crookest he's ever been after being on the turf for a night. And I think he was in for about 3 balls with Puchlenko, and they had to run a 7 because there were 2 lots of overthrows. Because the ground was that big, we never had it roped off in those days. And George hit a 3, overthrows for 2, then an overthrow for another 2. So they had to run a 7. Dennis was, I don't know whether he had a Dan McGrew, but he did he, on the pitch?
He did.
I can remember that. But that innings of George was 140 over 180.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Dennis Davey, he ran the 6 or the 7, whatever it was.
7.
And he made a duck. Work that out.
But that innings got a mention on World of Sport the next day. Doug Ring used to do the district cricket report, and he got a mention about it. It was really special. It really was sensational. We won, and I think Potter declared after we passed him. Garry, you actually hit the winning run. Wouldn't I? Well,
I think it was a cover drive.
No, it was sort of lofted mid-wicket, long on type of shot, which just lobbed for 2, and we won. I always remember that.